All right, so I'm getting ready to pull the motor out. The small block right here, and then this big block right here will be going in. It's a Gen 4 stock short block, 80,000 miles. It's got a cam in it, but it's going to be coming out anyways. But just going to show you guys how to pull the engine out of a 1973 Nova. So far I got the hood and the hinges off, and going to be going from here. This is a small block 4-speed car without AC, and it does have heat, so I'm going to be documenting the process of pulling this out and the process to swap it to a big block Chevy with the right heater core and all that. So here we go. So first I'm going to start stripping all of the accessory stuff out of the engine bay and probably draining the coolant, and then get it down to the bare motor, and then we can start working on getting the bell housing bolts off and all that. But right now I just strip all the stuff off the engine and get it out of the way. Alright, so I just pulled the battery out. Just got this cardboard down on the ground I can put all the parts on, and then I got cardboard under the car, so if I leak any fluid it'll catch it. But I just want to show you guys the battery tray. It is rotted away in this corner, and all that white stuff is battery acid. I'm moving the battery to the back of the car anyways, but that is what batteries do. So, alright, coolant's draining into the bucket. I managed to spill it everywhere. One tip: loosen the drain from the top, because it's my shirt is soaked from it running down my sleeve. So yeah, that part actually sucks to do, but yep, getting the coolant out of it right now. Alright, the radiator is out. All you got to do to take that out is overflow tank. There's that chrome piece that grabs it like that. 3 1/2-inch bolts, and then upper and lower hose. Radiator comes right out. It is a complete mess. Drain it outside, otherwise you will be standing in it, but I've mopped it up and I got a fan drying it. So yeah, really making good progress right now though. Alright, I had the ground going from here, from the battery to this alternator brace, so I just took that off, and then next I'm going to start stripping down these accessories. Alright, so accessories are off. Power steering just sitting down there. I'll handle that when the motor's out. And then alternator and all that's off, belts are off. And then I also just took off the heater hoses for the heater core. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm gonna start stripping off the fuel line coming into the pump, and then probably gonna start working on headers and shit like that. So we're making great progress though so far, so things should be out in no time. Alright, both the exhaust is off and unhung, disconnected from the headers right here on each side. I don't know if you guys can see that, but yep, that's off. And then right now I'm working on getting the header bolts off. I already pulled off the plug wires real quick to make it easier on myself. But yeah, just starting to get a real strip down here, and she'll be out before I know it. But this is the process I do. Just take off the battery, take out the radiator and drain that out, and then start taking off the accessories, and just get her down to the block and all that so you can pull it out. But yeah, it's going super easy, and haven't run into any issues yet, so pretty good. Alright, so the headers are out on both sides. Passenger side comes out super gravy. Just loosen the bolts and then fist around the dipstick or pull the dipstick out. Driver's side, everybody knows this side sucks. This is bigger on this car than cars that don't have quick ratio steering, and these are angle plug heads, so headers was an absolute bear to find. If you can get straight plug heads, do it. Angle plug heads suck pretty bad as far as trying to fit headers. But this side I had to jack it up super high, fish out the header through the bottom. And just to show you on this header, when I was putting the motor together, I had to dent it a fair amount. So in a couple spots here. So yeah, headers are not fun on these cars since the box is right there. If you get like a 2nd gen F body, that steering gear's way up here, and it's so much better. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. We're getting super close to disconnecting some wires, the bell housing, and the motor mounts. I also did take the Z-bar off. You can see the pivot ball down there. You got to take that off to get the header out too. So, but that's only if you're a stick shift car. If you're automatic, I couldn't tell you. I could tell you though that you would have to take off the cooler lines off the radiator, which I didn't show obviously because you don't have to cool a stick car, but yeah, that's where we're at right now. Should be out soon. Alright, so I got the wiring off the starter, and then started disconnecting some linkage of the carb that goes into the cab, and just cutting all the zip ties I had for wire routing to the engine. But next up, I'm going to do the fuel line going into the pump, and then I need to decide if I want to pull the tranny out with it or try to leave the tranny in the car. So gonna figure that out. I think I'm gonna leave it in and just take the motor out, and then take the tranny out tomorrow maybe. But yeah, we're making great progress so far, so gonna keep moving while I'm motivated to. Alright, so I just took the bolts out of the tranny mount right there from the tranny. I'm gonna leave the cross member in the car obviously, but those are loose so I can wobble the tranny around and not stress it in any way, since it's a aluminum or magnesium case or whatever they are. I got this block of wood under there to support it, and then these four, get down here, these four bolts that bolt the tranny to the bell housing, 2 on this side, 2 on the other side. I'm going to take those out and then take the motor mounts loose, and then I can separate the engine from the tranny that way and leave the tranny in the car for now. That way I can leave the shifter and the drive shaft and all that still in here. So yeah, I'm going to take these 4 bolts out and then loosen the motor mounts out and get the cherry picker on the engine and see what we can do. So that's how you do it for a 4-speed car. Alright, as you can see, the motor mounts are out. Here's the bolts for the motor mounts. Here are the tranny mount bolts and 4 bolts that bolt the Muncie to the bell housing. So I'm going to get the cherry picker out of the corner and hook some chain up and yank this old girl out. We are, I started at 12 and I took an hour lunch break. It's 3:52, so I'm at about 3 hours right now, so pretty good. Alright, I got it jacked up with the cherry picker. Chain on the heads. I got a wooden block under here to catch the tranny when it falls. Not falls, but you know what I mean. And I'm just going to start pulling it out because I got to get that front bearing retainer on the tranny out of the bell housing because that's a machine fit. Gonna start pulling it forward, jacking up little by little, and then it'll be out. So this should be pretty easy, but that's the process right there. All right, engine's out, disconnected from the tranny. Pretty nerve-wracking. The tranny's barely hanging on. It's a long story, but it was basically hanging up inside the clutch and all that, so it was dragging the tranny out. So it's whatever. Kind of sketchy, but yeah, here's the motor. I'm gonna pull it out before these bolts break off the aluminum heads and the motor falls. But yeah. All right, there's the motor. Kind of a hassle. It was pulling on the tranny coming out, and as you can see, the tranny is barely on the jack right now, but what are you gonna do about it? I only had 1 jack. I can't find my other bottle jack right now. But yeah, gonna do some cleaning up of the engine bay. I gotta put in a new heater core, new motor mounts. I'm gonna paint everything. I might end up doing new brake lines because I have a line lock to put on, so I gotta figure out where to mount that and fit lines to it and from it. But yeah, motor is out. That is probably the last time a small block Chevy will be in this thing because I like to go fast. So this thing will hopefully make some noise and hopefully go faster than 9.3 in the 1/8 mile, because that's what that thing went. But another update on the car is I did get both quarter panels on. You saw I made a video on the passenger side, but here's the driver's side. I had to patch together panels because people are out of stock of sheet metal right now, but yeah, pretty cool. That's how it ended up working out. But that's the 355 though, all chromed out, aluminum headed 355, comp cams, 270 Magnum. It's like 480 lift, very mediocre. It's got roller rockers. I got to pull the bell housing off to get my clutch and all that because the next guy's not getting that, and then make a Facebook ad and post this up for sale. So pretty cool.